So have you ever bought something just because it was on sale or added extra items to your cart like my husband just to get a better deal? Well, you might be spaving. So that is spending more to save more.
Such a sucker for it. Joining us now with a few tricks on how to break this bad buying habit is consumer savings expert Andrea Warrock. So great to see you this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on today.
Let's start with the real definition I think a lot of us are guilty of, spaving, and identifying what leads people to do it.
Yeah, so spaving, it sounds like it could be helpful, but it can actually be a bad spending habit, because this is when you spend more to get a better deal, spend more to save. But if you're buying something you don't need, spending extra money you weren't planning to, it could lead you to overspend, take on debt, and buy things you just don't need, adding more clutter to your home, which creates chaos, of course. And so really you have to figure out, when are you doing this? What is triggering you to spave? And figure out ways to overcome it. So a great example, most people can't resist a sale, right? In fact, studies show 70% of shoppers make impulse purchases, spending more because they don't want to miss out on a discount.
Yes.
But if you're buying something you weren't planning to, you're still spending money you shouldn't, likely. And so it's really important to understand and evaluate each purchase, maybe even unsubscribing from emails that are promoting those sales, or deleting shopping apps from your phone so you're not even tempted to start browsing.
Because it's so easy to just click. Yep, here it comes.
Exactly.
You know what I noticed though too, like the retailers, they use those tiered discounts, $10 off of $50 and then $20 off of $100. How do you know if those are actually worth it?
It's like the old Navy bucks. They give you that thing.
Okay, so retailers are playing on your desire to get a better value.
Okay.
Consumers see that $20 discount as a better deal than the $10 discount. So you're more likely to then spend more to get 20 off. But your then ticket at checkout is going to be much higher because now you're spending $80. The reality is, though, the percent discount is the same whether you spend 50 or 100. So you shouldn't allow a bigger discount claim to influence your purchase. You still really need to evaluate what is a need, what are you spending extra just to get the discount.
Right.
So also use your calculator on your phone to determine what the percent off is if you're confused about the dollar amount off the purchase. This is especially true for those multiple deals. I think those multiple deals are made to confuse you, especially at the grocery store. And sometimes they're not a better deal than just going with like maybe the store brand or another single item on sale. Break down the math.
Good point.
Well, that's where you lose me, right? Because once I'm doing the math in the aisle and I'm doing the thing and carrying the one and divided by 0.50%, you know, it's like I'm out. I just whatever. It sounds like I'm saving money. But there's also this whole thing about shipping minimums, which can cause extra spending. This is where Hazel's husband falls into a trap.
Totally. Some random thing.
Right, because retailers know people don't want to pay delivery fees.
Yeah.
And more, you know, bigger brands and clothing brands and so forth do use those minimum spending thresholds to get you to spend more. The reality is, though, if you only have maybe $40 in your cart and now you have to spend $75, a lot of people start adding more items because they don't want to pay that maybe $6 or $7 or $8 delivery fee. But at the end of the day, you're still spending a lot more. It only makes sense to add an item to cover delivery if the item is, if you're just, you know, that $10 away from that free shipping minimum. But if you're $25, $30, $40 away, you're better off figuring out if you could do curbside pickup, order online, pick up at store if the store's in your area. Otherwise, just pay the delivery fee because you're still going to save money.
All right, what about bundling and buying in bulk? Dan does that all the time, I know that.
So bundles, again, they look like a great, but you're still going to spend a little bit more because now you're getting more items with the total purchase. So unless you actually need those items, you're better off going with the individual item and just wait for a sale. You could track sales using apps like Karma. This will alert you when the item you're wanting to buy drops in price. So that's going to actually be a better value than buying the bundle just to get extra goods you really don't need. And then this also goes with buying in bulk. Bulk purchases are a great deal when you break down the price per unit, but unless you need that many, it's potentially better to buy less, and also beware of anything that's perishable or does have an expiration date, because you could potentially let some of those items go to waste if you don't use it all before the expiration date. And then just keep this in mind. If you buy a lot of items in bulk at once, they still cost more, the total package cost. And so now your bill at checkout is higher. So if you didn't budget for that and you use your credit card and you can't pay it off in full, any interest you pay on that purchase is going to take away the discount you got in the first place.
Doing the math right now in my head. Okay.
I know maybe I'm
like
not helping you out too much right now.
But that case of wine sounded like a good deal. So explain how not saving the payment and shipping details, right? When you click the button and all of a sudden it's all there, remembered, ready to go, how it can at least slow things down for you or deter shopping altogether.
Yeah, so we kind of touched on this earlier, but the ability to buy with a tap of your finger, a click of your mouse, or even with your voice through Alexa devices, right? That can lead to spaving more quickly without giving yourself time to think it through. So I like creating purchase hurdles. This is giving you, a little more friction, so you can't make a purchase without thinking it through. So deleting your stored payment information, your shipping details in online retail accounts, in apps, as well as in social media, is going to force you to take a step back and rethink the purchase.
If I gotta get up to go get my credit card to type in the number, I'm rethinking the whole thing.
But see, that's
right. You're probably not even going to purchase it. No one wants to get up and start looking for their credit card. And if you have your credit card memorized, then that's a big red flag. You might need to cut that up and get a new one. Okay?
But that's why, like that Shop app that stores everything for you, that's a bad news.
Dangerous.
Right.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Delete that. Get rid of that. You need a little buffer. Okay. And another great idea is to use the screenshotting tactic. This is when you come across a limited time deal, you think, I gotta get it before it expires. Rather than jumping on that impulse to buy, take a screenshot. This at least will appease you that you have the details saved in your camera roll. If you do decide to come back, chances are that urge to buy will pass and you'll save yourself some money.
Great advice. Andrea, always great advice from you. Thanks so much for explaining spaving to us.
I mean, I know that sometimes you do want to make the buy, but give yourself a little time to think it over.
All right, great advice. Andrea, thanks so much. We'll see you later.
Thanks for having me.